I'll never forget the time when I had to rush to the emergency room because I thought I was having a heart attack. In fact, it scared the shit out of me, and I was only 27 years old. There wasn't much to it actually, and it was just a regular day at work. I was actually helping out to set up a brand new auto parts store, and I started to have some massive pressure in my chest. My heart was racing, I was lightheaded, and I even had some chest pains. And then when the doctor told me that everything was fine, that's when I realized that something had to change in my life. And in fact, moments before that, I was just reflecting on how unexcited and unfulfilled I am with my work. And I don't know if you can relate, but here's what I figured out. My life wasn't complete out of integrity with my values and out of my true self. I was working for a large car parts corporation at the time in Canada, and I got promoted actually as a national sales manager, managing accounts and traveling the country, and I was selling tools and products and parts, and I was good at it. At least I thought I was, because I got promoted 3 times within 5 years, reaching a 6-figure income, having even a bonus of having a company car and an expense account. I even had the house, I even had, a beautiful fiance, I had all the gadgets, I had the cars and everything like that, but I didn't find myself in there. Now, I don't know what it was, but what was missing is that I wasn't living in my purpose. And the fact is that I started to basically create and live by society's expectations and creating my whole entire life around that idea. Now, don't get me wrong though, I love cars, but I'm not passionate about selling car parts. And in fact, I wasn't excited about trading all of my time, doing something that I'm not even excited about and filling up a predetermined role just because that's what I'm told to do. And for the majority of my career, ever since I started 8 years ago, this is exactly what I've been feeling. I've been feeling lost in this whole system that we've been told to go by. And in there, I was trying to find myself. And the whole part of it, however, is that it caused me to have a whole lot of stress and anxiety in my life, so much so that I thought I was going to be dealing with this with the rest of my life. And maybe you've been feeling the same way. Now, here's the thing. After my last anxiety attack, rising up from my depression, I knew that I had to seriously make some changes in my life. So at that point, I went on a quest to discover who I really am and what my purpose is. Now, don't get me wrong, I was afraid. I knew I had a long journey ahead of me, and I knew that I had to do things that I'd never done before. And I would have to break from this normality of life, and that scared me. I was also afraid to fail because growing up, I thought that failing would be a bad thing. And I also had an increasing level of insecurities in myself because I was so afraid of what people would think of me. But the pain of continuing down that path and feeling the same level of stress and anxiety, living inauthentically to myself for the rest of my life, was far greater than changing. Now, I did consider at that time to maybe go back to school and maybe get an MBA, but I didn't have the time for it. And as a matter of fact, all it would give me would be a piece of paper and didn't really give me a guarantee of success. Now, I thought of changing career paths, but I didn't want to start all over again and just start in a new corporate company and losing out on the income and just getting further away from my goals. And I thought maybe starting a traditional business, but I didn't want to buy myself a job. What I wanted was having more freedom, more time freedom, financial freedom, and most importantly, having the freedom to be myself and having the freedom to do what I want, when I want. And that could mean that I want to travel in a camper van or maybe around the world, or maybe one day that could be going out and doing some mountain biking, or maybe do some car racing. Or maybe another day I could just be spontaneous and just say, you know what, I'm just gonna jump on a plane and I'm gonna go to Australia or something like that. So with that in mind, I knew that starting an online business was the way to go. But I didn't wanna have just an online business. I wanted it to be genuine. I wanted to be excited about it. And maybe even considering the same thing. And what was important for me was that to change my life to be more real, to be able to express who I really am and to experience a life that I'm passionate about, and to be able to explore the world and grow to be the best version of myself at the same time. And I wanted to create a life of success, and I wanted to have a life that's fulfilling, knowing that what I do is actually making a difference in other people's lives. And I was driven to face my fears head on and not letting anything stand in my way of creating the life that I truly deserve. And I was so determined to discover my true potential, and hopefully you're on the same path. But here's what that I discovered, because it wasn't until I found this academy and community of like-minded people that I truly started to express who I really am and discover my true purpose. They gave me the space to express myself and to be able to discover my true values. And at the same time, my mentors has been helping me to dream again, showing me what is possible and guiding me to creating a life of personal time and financial freedom, and to be able to live a life that's fulfilling, knowing that I can actually make a difference in other people's lives. And my life is completely different since then, and I'm much more confident and at peace in expressing who I really am. And as a matter of fact, I'm more aware of myself, and I have a view on life that's so much more positive than what it used to be. And if you're anything like me and you're sick and tired of feeling uninspired about life, and you're at a breaking point of feeling this way, then click the link and discover how you can achieve a positive state of being by learning the same techniques that took me from confusion, depression, exhaustion, and flat out missing out on life to being more true to myself and on the path of creating a fulfilling life of time and financial freedom. The 10-15 minutes video that I'm gonna send you in your inbox are completely free. And in there, my mentors are gonna teach you the foundations of how to start a profitable online business from scratch, even if you have no products or experience. Regardless of what you choose to do from here though, promise me one thing. Make sure you don't end up at the hospital like I did.